Hello guys, welcome back to another video. This is your boy NatoG.1542. It's been quite some time since I've been back with a video, but we're back. I'm gonna have a new schedule soon, but as for right now, we're gonna react to this one theory video, and it's my first time actually watching food theory or just MatPat in general. I haven't seen any of his videos like that for real, and I enjoyed it, so I'm sure you will enjoy it too. By the way guys, my mic quality is a little bit bad, but yeah. Enough with the yapping, let's get straight to it.
No. Oh. No. No. No.
I used to be so scared because whenever I was younger, right? I used to be so scared of these ads because it would make it seem like a whole... No. This video specifically made me so scared of GrubHub because it was talking about people trapped in a simulation.
Oh,
Matthew!
oh, thank goodness. It was just a nightmare. Steph, I can't even describe it. There was
the type of nightmares I had too.
There was dancing. There was GrubHub, Steph. It had lore.
It's okay, Matthew. Go back to sleep. It's not real. The GrubHub lore can't hurt you. It can't hurt you.
Hello, Internet. Welcome to Film Food Theory? What channel is this again? Let me look at the logo in the corner. All right, welcome to Food Theory. Sorry about that, friends. I'm still a bit confused about where this GrubHub cinematic universe fits into our channels. You heard that one right, theorists. The GCU. It is a thing, and it is a thing that we can no longer ignore. See, over the past year, GrubHub has rolled out a series of commercials that are entirely 3D animated. The internet has lost its collective mind over these things, and not in a good way. The bulk of the internet's wrath has been directed at one particular ad called Delivery Dance. It features a ridiculously dressed dad, ridiculous dancing, ridiculous bites of salad. Actually, that's my favorite part. Can we just go back and pause it? Yeah, there it is. I mean, come on! What is that face? Forget the bite of 87. The real horror comes from the bite of 2021. Anyway, long story short, this GrubHub ad has been memed to death by the internet.
Yes, the memes, the Gary's Mod memes were hilarious to me.
And thank goodness for that, because it's been great. But the internet didn't stop there. Oh no, friends. The internet took it a step further and discovered that there is actual lore in these GrubHub commercials. Yep, this is my life. Now, a lot of GrubHub hubbub has been made by the other internet sleuths about the red world stuff. The strange, sometimes vacuous red space that the characters dance in after they get their GrubHub. Me, I'm a lot less concerned about that. Personally, that feels like a fair, non-literal filmmaking choice. Same goes for the magical diamonds, cash, and stars that often appear out of thin air in these commercials. I can even forgive the characters'
Just realized that she was moonwalking, the one in blue.
apparent lack of elbow and knee joints is an artistic choice. But what keeps this theorist up at night are the characters. Because the relationships going on in these 15 and 30-second ad spots are way more complex and way more involved than they have any business of being. See, at the center of it is this woman, who we'll call Milkshake Lady. Milkshake Lady loves ordering food from GrubHub, and she has a photo on her wall with Chicken Sandwich Guy that suggests that they're in a relationship. However, there are a few weird things that jump out. For one, Milkshake Lady and Chicken Sandwich Guy don't appear to live in the same house. Also, there's no ring on...
Ain't nothing wrong with a long distance relationship. You never know. You never know. They might have just started in the talking phase, or they're good friends. You know what I mean?
either of their...
You don't gotta have a ring on their finger.
And then there's the fact that she seems to be pregnant not only in the photo, but also in real life. This means that the photo has to be fairly recent. Does this mean that Milkshake Lady is pregnant with Chicken Sandwich Baby? Well, that seems likely, except for the fact...
No, that doesn't make sense though.
fact that we see him as a
Because he's already right there.
toddler in another commercial. The only explanation for this is that Milkshake Lady's scenes must be flashbacks to several years prior, before Chicken Sandwich Baby was born. And this could explain why Chicken Sandwich Guy and Milkshake Lady are never seen in the same room together. 3 years after the birth of their child, Milkshake Lady is no longer around, and Chicken Sandwich Guy is doing the single dad thing. But he still misses her terribly, and ordering Grubhub takes him to a happier mental place, the red place where they can be together again.
Or they're on drugs. Okay.
So yeah, that is some pretty intense world building for a couple of commercials. But here's an added wrinkle of complexity. There is a second picture on Milkshake Lady's wall, and it's of a dog that isn't her dog. That's right, the dog's owner, as established across multiple commercials, is this guy, who we're gonna...
Okay, now I'm seeing the vision.
call
Chicken Sandwich Guy, the Milkshake Lady were in a relationship, right? But then this dude came around and took his girl, and then she was like sneaky. She had like a secondary man on her, and she was cheating. She got caught. They separated. He took the kid, or the kid was born. And she didn't want to take care of it, so he took the kid, right? And this dude is just a
taco
lazy
guy. And yet, Milkshake Lady clearly has a connection to the dog. Do I sense a love triangle in the air? Or maybe is it something less juicy? Like Milkshake Lady was the dog's first owner, and then Taco Guy became the dog's owner years later in the present day. Either way, it sure seems like something happened to Milkshake Lady. She isn't in her baby's life, she isn't in her dog's life, and both men seem to be dealing with trauma. Taco Guy just lies around his house all day, and Chicken Sandwich Guy seems to be using the red place in his mind as a crutch to make his life more bearable. If there's some painful event at the center of all this, some reason why Milkshake Lady has disappeared...
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to pause too much, but that pose that he's doing right there just reminded me of Quandale Dingle. I mean, like, look at his pose. Look at the nose.
And both men seem to be dealing with trauma. Taco Guy just lies around his house all day, and Chicken Sandwich Guy seems to be using the red place in his mind as a crutch to make his life more bearable. If there's some painful...
Look at his nose, bro. You cannot tell me that does not look like Quandale Dingle. Am I tweaking?
Event at the center of all this, some reason why Milkshake Lady has disappeared, Grubhub hasn't revealed what it is. Or have they? See, we here at Food Theory, after hours and hours of poring over this source material, believe that we've unearthed something big. Folks, the Grubhub cinematic universe is bigger than you think. Much bigger. I'll admit it, theorists, I started looking into the Grubhub lore as a joke. I did it for the memes, but you know what? I'm not joking anymore. If Grubhub's bewildering 3D animated ad campaign has left you with questions, well, brace yourself for a whole lot of answers, because the GCU actually exists within another, even larger 3D animated universe, that of the Nickelodeon classic series, Jimmy Neutron Boy Genius. You'd think that this is just an April Fool's prank, right? But you know, I don't think it is. Now, obviously, a lot of attention's been paid to the Delivery Dance ad starring Chicken Sandwich Guy, but I'd like to begin with one of the lesser known ads starring Taco Guy. When I first saw this ad, I said to myself, Taco Guy looks kind of like Jimmy Neutron all grown up. After all, it's not...
I don't know, man. I don't know, bro. It's the head shape for me. Like his forehead is massive. His forehead is like skinnier, and he has like a big old, I don't know, squash as his chin or something.
Every day that you see a 3D animated dude with dazzling blue eyes and cartoonishly tall brown hair. Plus, Taco Guy is about the age that Jimmy Neutron would be in the present day, 2 decades after the show graced Nickelodeon's airwaves. But again, this was just a passing random thought I had. There certainly wasn't enough to actually base an entire theory episode around. But then, moments later in that same commercial, bam, I encountered this. Do you see it? Zoom in, enhance. Friends, check out those shirts. If it seems familiar, well, that's because it's Jimmy Neutron Neutron's shirt. Red t-shirt, atom on the chest, 3 electron orbitals. And that struck me as more than a little odd, because while the atom shirt makes sense on a boy genius whose name is literally Neutron, why are these guys wearing the shirt? GrubHub has nothing to do with atoms. Someone made the very intentional choice to introduce these shirts. Shirts that are, at a minimum, an homage to Jimmy Neutron, in a GrubHub ad that features a character that looks a heck of a lot like a 30-something
Did he have a dog though? Did Jimmy Neutron have a dog?
of Jimmy Neutron. But why? Why? Well, I'm thinking that Taco Guy deserves himself a second look. So it's important to note that Taco Guy actually appears in different commercials. In this first one we've been discussing, he appears on screen for just 5 seconds, playing video games and eating tacos that appear out of thin air as if by magic. But Taco Guy also stars in his own 15-second commercial. And it's this second spot that gives us a much better sense of who this guy is as a person, his lifestyle, his interests, and perhaps most importantly, his high-tech, borderline magical cell phone that provides him with tacos instantly at the push of a button. And these tacos can't be overlooked like the decorative diamonds and cash that we talked about earlier. Taco Guy interacts with the tacos. He actually eats them. They are real tacos. Now keep in mind, this food appearing out of thin air technology is not pervasive in the GrubHub cinematic universe. Delivery Guy is actually a recurring character across multiple spots, which proves that many people
Wait a minute.
in this world still get their
I'm seeing the vision. I'm seeing the vision.
GrubHub delivery the old school way. So a phone that transports real food directly to your home is just as awesome in this universe as it would be in our universe. And it presumably is using similar technology as some of Jimmy Neutron's inventions in his show, like the matter transporter and the teleportation pods. And then there are the robots. I mean, here we have ourselves an adult man who has no fewer than 5 robots on display in his home. Jimmy Neutron, of course, built robots all the time. Even his dog was a robot, for crying out loud. Speaking of which, Taco Guy's dog does seem weirdly intelligent, don't you think? I mean, accidentally ordering tacos for your taco-loving master once is a coincidence, but this dog orders food for his master in multiple commercials. And not only that, but this dog picks out the best deal available each time. That is evidence of reasoning ability, not to mention literacy and an understanding of mathematics. You know who else just so happened to have a dog that was able to do all that? Jimmy Neutron, who built Goddard, a robot dog that was literate and hyper-intelligent. And here's the thing, theorists, there are Jimmy Neutron Easter eggs all over Taco Guy's room. The cactus, which is the exact same size and shape as Jimmy Neutron's cactus costume in Season 2. The red baseball cap, which Jimmy and his friends sported in Season 2 as well. The choice to make the lava lamp glow pink of all colors, which was the go-to color for pretty much any brain power or energy-emitting invention that Jimmy Neutron came up with. And as for the taco obsession, well, if you've ever watched the show, you already know that Jimmy Neutron grew up in a taco-loving household like no other.
What do you want for lunch, Hugh?
Got nothing for me. I want to be as hungry as possible for tomorrow's Mucho Carne Fiesta Taco Shack.
I don't want to belabor the point. I think you get it. These 2 commercials give us plenty of reasons to suspect that Taco Guy is actually Jimmy Neutron all grown up. All right, so let's stop and pop our heads up for air here, because at this point we spent the better
That is a crazy theory. I would have never thought.
part of insert current time a video here analyzing 35 seconds of GrubHub source material. But in my defense, GrubHub went and actively put Jimmy Neutron shirts on their characters. I mean, what else is a theorist supposed to do with that kind of information? And when the puzzle pieces just keep fitting into place, we really have no choice but to keep going. And keep going we shall, theorists, because we've only scratched the surface. Just like you're about to give that subscribe button a scratch, so that way I can deliver to you a new food-related theory video into your subscription feed.
Hey, you heard the guy. Subscribe. By the way, if you've make it this far and you like content like this, you can join my Discord. This is where you can get further into the community. You can send fan art. Please, I would love fan art. You can send regular art, send memes, send video requests, and more. Also, you can get hints on the next video. So if you would like to join, the link is down below. Alright, back into it.
We've discussed how Jimmy Neutron is clearly Taco Guy, and how Goddard may or may not be Taco Guy's dog. But what if I told you that the rest of the Jimmy Neutron cast also exists within the GrubHub universe? It would seem unbelievable. It would seem like this is the most elaborate April Fool's prank theory video I've ever done. But let me present to you the evidence and leave it for you to judge. Canonically, Jimmy was an 11-year-old boy when Jimmy Neutron Boy Genius hit the scene in 1998, and it's safe to assume that his 6th grade classmates were approximately the same age. So So now, 23 years later, Jimmy and his friends would all be solidly in their 30s. Now, there are exactly 7 characters in the GCU around that age. Taco Guy, Salad Lady, Milkshake Lady, Chicken Sandwich Guy, Sidewalk Ginger, and these 2 parents. Every other main character in the GrubHub spots has at least one indicator that they're significantly younger, be it Peanut Head's Letterman jacket, an apartment on a college campus, or the fact that, you know, they're wearing toddler overalls. In 1998, these characters would have been infants, or they wouldn't have been born yet, so we're gonna set them aside for now and focus only on the 30-something millennials. Now, compare them to these millennials. You see what I'm getting at here?
Here's the thing, though. She got red hair, or she got some type of brown hair, and she got black hair. You gotta explain that to me, and they look nothing alike. Nothing alike. These 2 don't look alike neither. So I can kind of hear what you're coming from whenever it talks about Jimmy Neutron right here. But for the others, I don't get it.
Theorists, the millennials in the GrubHub cinematic universe perfectly match up to the cast of Jimmy Neutron. And I mean perfectly. Check it out. Obviously, we've established how Taco Guy is Jimmy Neutron, but what about his best friend, Carl Weezer? I mean, when it comes to classic Nickelodeon characters, this guy is just as iconic as Jimmy's Dairy Queen soft serve head. You can't have Jimmy without Carl. Well, take a minute to look at this guy from the GrubHub commercials, someone I call the Sidewalk Ginger, who is featured in a GrubHub ad when a giant bag falls down from the sky. The skin color, a perfect match, as is the curly red hair and the thick glasses. And while sure, he's a lot thinner than the childhood Carl, remember, that's when the character was 11. And for a good look of what Carl would look like as an adult, all we have to do is examine his father's attributes in the show. And what do you know, but he has himself a mustache and a slightly slimmer physique. Ladies and gentlemen, Sidewalk Ginger is none other than adult Carl. One thing that apparently never changed though is Carl's knack for dressing like an old man no matter what age he happens to be. Still rocking that questionable fashion there, bud. Let's move on to Salad Lady, who is clearly the grown-up version of Jimmy Neutron's sometimes rival, sometimes love interest, Cindy Vortex. While we haven't seen much of adult Cindy in the GCU yet, her cameo in the delivery dance ad is all we need to identify her. There's the iconic yellow blonde hair, the iconic green eyes, plus Cindy Vortex always had an aggressive, competitive hunger about her as a child. I think it's safe to say that that aggressive...
It's not about the face or the hair neither. It's just they look nothing alike.
Hunger hasn't gone anywhere. Seriously, I cannot get enough of that face. Next, we have ourselves Cindy's best friend, Libby Fullfax, who's in the GCU as a 30-something as well. It's well established in the Nickelodeon show that Libby is a vegetarian. And sure enough, adult Libby orders a salad. Furthermore, we get the sense from the GrubHub ad that adult Libby and her brown-haired, brown-eyed, overweight partner don't exactly get along. This would suggest that Libby wound up in a relationship with the brown-haired, brown-eyed, overweight foreign exchange student that she detested ever since he beat her out of her class presidency in 6th grade, Bolby Stroganovsky. Which brings us to the final character from the Jimmy Neutron title card, Sheen Estevez, who is none other than the meme himself, chicken sandwich guy, Boogie Dad. Physically, both characters are Latino with dark hair, brown eyes,
They look
and soft to non-existent chins. But their personalities match up as well. Sheen was an eccentric kid to say the least, and that same eccentricity is there in adult Sheen's fashion and dancing. Okay, so this one is admittedly a bit more of a stretch than the others because of the darker skin tone and the curly hair, which we never really get to see on Sheen, but just like his buddy Carl, it's possible Sheen has also taken on his father's body type. A top-heavy body type with a very rounded head. The body shapes, actually, when you look at it from that context, are almost a perfect match. Call it a series of complete coincidences if you like, but the fact of the matter is this: every single character from the Jimmy Neutron title card has multiple undeniable similarities to the corresponding GCU character. Pile all of that on top of the fact that Jimmy Neutron's shirt makes multiple cameos in the GCU for no apparent reason, and I feel the case is pretty airtight. Theorists, the GrubHub cinematic universe isn't merely linked to the Jimmy Neutron
I mean, I guess.
Boy Genius universe. It is the Jimmy Neutron Boy Genius universe. All that supernatural activity surrounding GrubHub isn't magic or witchcraft. That's what technology is capable of when wielded by Jimmy Neutron after a couple additional decades of wisdom under his belt. So this gives us a ton of backstory on the GrubHub characters that we didn't have before, and it allows us to answer a bunch of the questions that are still lingering. Beginning with the biggie, how does Milkshake Lady fit into this unofficial revival of Jimmy Neutron? After all, there was no parallel for her in the show. Betty Quinlan, Jimmy's crush, comes close, but she has a mole and different colored eyes, so no good. The answer to this is kind of simple though. Milkshake Lady just wasn't on the original Nickelodeon show. She's a new character that GrubHub introduced, and for good reason, they needed someone to kill off. I believe that they had a gigantic GrubHub bag crush Milkshake Lady to death shortly after she gave birth to Sheen's baby. Yeah, I know this sounds dark and insane, and you hate the idea that your third favorite Nickelodeon show growing up was taken in this direction. Just remember, I am not the reason this theory is happening, okay? GrubHub didn't have to put Jimmy Neutron's shirt in their ads, but they did. They did this, and not me. I am just the bearer of bad news. Now then, here's what the accumulated facts suggest about GrubHub's actual lore. More than 3 years ago, Milkshake Lady was in a romantic relationship with adult Jimmy Neutron and formed a strong connection with Jimmy's dog. But her relationship with Jimmy didn't work out. The once promising boy genius had grown bored with life and was squandering his talents on video games and high-tech food delivery solutions that allowed him to play more video games without interruption. GrubHub was Jimmy Neutron's contribution to the world, and it was his creation that would ultimately kill the only woman he ever loved. Milkshake Lady got to keep Goddard in the
Hold up.
without interruption. GrubHub was Jimmy Neutron's contribution to the world, and it was his creation.
Gang, what are you looking at, bro? Why are you licking your lips, gang? What are you doing? What are you doing? What is he doing, bro?
Creation that would ultimately kill the only woman he ever loved. Milkshake Lady got to keep Goddard in the breakup, then began a romantic relationship with Sheen Estevez. In time, Milkshake Lady got pregnant and gave birth to a beautiful and expressive baby boy. Life was good, at least it was, until Milkshake Lady was killed by a GrubHub bag while taking Goddard for a walk. And I'm not talking about the bag that Carl Weezer witnessed, mind you. That bag landed on a city street and we can barely see it land on anyone. This is the bag that killed Milkshake Lady, on a grassy patch where she had let Goddard off the leash to frolic about. While there's no actual footage of the incident that took her life, there is footage of the immediate aftermath. You'll notice everyone in town is distracted by the fireworks. No one noticed that the bag fell on top of Milkshake Lady. No one except Goddard the dog. You see him run up to the bag and start to bark, trying to alert the people around him to the plight of his master, but no one pays him any mind until it's too late. Milkshake Lady is dead. Sheen took her death particularly hard. To this day, even the mere thought of GrubHub reminds him of her. Not that he cares, as that mental red place is the only way that he can be with her once again. Sheen still holds his childhood best friend responsible for her death, as evidenced by the fact that Jimmy is conspicuously absent from the dance parties held in Sheen's mind. After all, it was Jimmy's laziness that brought the GrubHub technology to their community in the first place. As for Jimmy, the death of Milkshake Lady shook him into turning his life around, just like she always wanted him to do. As a result, Jimmy started a school to educate the next generation of boy and girl geniuses. That's why there are so many young student-age characters populating the GrubHub ads, and why so many of them are wearing the Red Atom shirt, the logo of Jimmy's school. So friends, there you have it. In recent years, there have been rumors whizzing around the internet about Jimmy Neutron Boy Genius returning to TV. I humbly submit to you that not only are the rumors true,
Yeah, gang, I don't know about this theory, y'all. What do y'all think?
but the Jimmy Neutron revival has already happened in the form of 3D animated GrubHub commercials. And what's most shocking to me is that I actually kinda like where GrubHub's Jimmy Neutron revival's headed. Honestly, I think it's got some legs. Weird, rubbery legs with no knee joints. But hey, that's just a theory. A food theory. And bon appetit. Theorists, thanks for watching that entire episode.
Well, I've got to say, on my opinions on it, I could see it in vision whenever he was talking about Jimmy Neutron. But the others do not look like the cast. They look nothing alike. I mean, like,
Peanut Head's Letterman jacket and a
the Jimmy Neutron shirt was pretty accurate, though. So I'll give him that. Shoot, you could be right. Well, guys, that was the end of the video. I told you my voice quality would be buns. I'm like, it's not that bad, but it's kind of terrible. So, yeah. Again, if you like what you see, I recommend liking and subscribing. You don't have to like, but, you know, I like the support. So if you feel led to, like the video. And for beginning subscribers and old subscribers, please turn on the notification bell. Goodness gracious. because there could be a lot you could be missing out on, and I don't want you to miss out. Alright, this is your boy, Nato G, at 154, signing out. Peace.